Right, I am going live to talk about a very interesting supplement that helps protect us against blue light. Now, we're 1 week away from the Tweakments Guide event, Tweakments Guide Live, which is very exciting. And one of our key sponsors for that is the Advanced Nutrition Program. And they have this skin blue filter supplement that helps protect the skin against blue light. And I'm hoping to catch Dr. Christine Hall, who's a brilliant aesthetic doctor who's based at the Tattoo Clinic. And she is going to be talking about how supplements can help the skin against, to defend itself against blue light, where all this blue light comes from. Right, now this time I'm hoping to call in here Advanced Nutrition Program, and who knew, we've discovered in the last few minutes, because Wasim is very up to the minute on all things Instagram. So now, surely with the update, we can, oh yes! Oh, who knew? Thank goodness. Thank you, Christine, and thank you. You're still in the background because I thought I had automatic updates. So I went on, there was an update here. Oh, right.
Hi.
Anyway, and hello, lovely people who have come back, who have stuck with us. That is very, very kind of you. Christine, I got as far as saying that you are based at the Tattoo Clinic, that you know, you're going to talk about blue light. And what I hadn't said was how you know, you have great skincare at the clinic, you have a range of supplements, because these will complement the results that people are getting from the aesthetic procedures you're offering. But oh wow, I'm so overwhelmed.
I know.
I finally made a connection. Where did we start? Okay, blue light. What is blue light? Why are we all talking about it? Why does it damage the skin, or what does it do to the skin?
Blue light. So light we can broadly split into two different types. So you've got visible light and non-visible light. So if we start with non-visible, that is things like infrared, UV rays, even things that you may not realize are light. So microwaves, radio waves, X-rays. Essentially, you can't see them.
Okay.
And then you've got visible light. So this is light that you can see, and it's all of the different colors of the rainbow. As we know, visible light, it comes through glass, and blue light is obviously one of the types of visible light. But blue light is also known as HEV, or high energy visible light, and that's because it has the highest energy but the shortest wavelength. And what that means is it actually penetrates much deeper than UV rays. So it's actually causing damage in the skin much deeper than UV light would. And there have actually been studies that show that when you combine UV light with blue light, the blue light actually pulls the UV light even deeper into the skin and increases the damage it can cause by 158%. Massive.
Oh, that's
so yeah.
Okay, that's terrible. So it's okay. And when we talk about blue light, I mean, we have all been talking about blue light coming from our devices, and other people are saying devices aren't so important. Is that the case? Is it the phones and screens that are doing this to us?
Came out of us all using our devices more and lockdown is, I think that really brought blue light to the forefront, and it raised people's knowledge of it. And I think it was interesting that in September 2020, when the kind of lockdown was in full flow, Unilever actually sent that email to its staff saying, be careful of your skin with all of the screen time that you're having because of the blue light. Yeah, so it was really something that was gaining knowledge. But it's a bit of a misconception that the majority of blue light that we get comes from our devices. Actually, I think it's up to 95% actually comes from the sun. So the majority is from the sun. The sun is very damaging. As I say, we always talk about UV light, but actually UV light only constitutes 5% of what comes from the sun, and whereas blue light is 25%. So it's emitted at much greater percentages. It penetrates much deeper, and it's a cumulative effect. So I think when we talk about computer screens and office lights, I think it's not something that should be dismissed. Because, you know, over time, everything adds up, but the majority is from the sun.
Yeah. Right, and what's it doing to the skin? Is it sort of killing the collagen, is what most things do, or is it doing
Yes, so
other stuff?
it damages the skin. It does most of its stuff by what we call oxidative stress, and it harms lots of different cells in the skin. So the sort of things that you see as a result of sun damage, and I have to say that the sun is our kind of biggest enemy when it comes to aging. We can attribute 80 to 90% of visible skin aging is directly because of the sun. And so the
Yeah.
things that you can see, so it can damage our melanocytes, which are the cells that cause pigmentation. So we get these kind of sunspots and blotches. It damages our lipid layer, which is our skin barrier, which helps to keep our skin moist. It damages DNA, which is involved in skin repair and skin healing.
Stop.
Everything.
Stop.
But then it increases the number of an enzyme. It's something called matrix metalloproteinase. And this literally breaks down collagen and elastin, and we become, wrinkly.
Great. Thank you. Okay, so it is really bad. I mean, but some kinds of blue light can be beneficial to skin, can't they? I'm thinking the anti-acne ones.
Yeah, because I'm very much a doctor of sort of things in moderation, but with blue light we have to be very careful. And I think what's key with this and with blue light for therapeutic purposes is it's targeted to one area. It's a very low dose and it's a very short duration. So you're absolutely right. Acne, it's been shown to kill the bugs that cause acne. Psoriasis, it helps to calm down the plaques. But if you want an example of just how strong blue light can be, we actually use it in medicine for something called photodynamic therapy. So if you have cancerous or precancerous lesions, we apply a light sensitive cream, and then we focus blue light on it, and it literally destroys the skin lesion. So that's how potent it can be.
Yeah, and that's terrifying, isn't it? One of my neighbours is going through that at the moment. It's quite tough. But back to the topic and away from my neighbour. So if it's largely coming from the sun and it's doing all this damage, is it just a question of wearing more sunscreen? How can we protect ourselves?
It's very similar into how we would protect ourselves from the sun normally. So all of the usual advice applies: cover up in the sun, avoid the midday sun, use of topical antioxidants. So vitamin C is the absolute classic in the morning. It helps to reverse some of the signs of aging and things. And then think about your SPF, applying SPF. I mean, I think this is where we needed something else for sun protection and sunlight, because I will be the first person to put my hand up and say that I don't use my SPF as I should. The recommended is 2 finger lengths, reapply every 2 hours. It's just...
You with your lovely, clear, glowing skin, you know, I thought you must be a real devotee, but it is hard to put on enough, isn't it? And I'm sure I'd heard some people saying that you really need kind of iron oxide or mineral sunscreens to protect, which is where I have trouble with it, because they so often will leave you pasty.
They have a bit of a so yes, you're right, they have a bit of a cast to them. Particularly people with darker skin types will struggle with the kind of physical sunscreens. But yes, going back to how you can protect yourself, this is where there's 2 things actually. So it's what you apply to your skin, and I think actually there's this new makeup brand that's come out that I'm really excited to try. It's called Et al, and they have something called Intelligent Skin Foundation, and it's a foundation that is targeted again towards blue light. And it has something called Blue Shield in it, which is their patented technology. I don't know much about it, but that's another thing. And as a lot of people know, my mum's from South Korea, and they are on the ball when it comes to SPF. They're double SPFing at the moment. There are lots of things. So they're chemical SPFing and then physical SPFing for the blue light over the top. So you can do all of those things, but then that brings you on to this brand new supplement, which I think is brilliant.
Yeah, because what I have learned to love as a phrase since working with the advanced nutrition program is their 100% skin concept, which is that, you know, if you're really treating the skin from the outside, you're missing half the potential nourishment, protection, whatever you can get from within. So what is this supplement, and what can it do to
this
help?
is the supplement. It's called Skin Blue Filter, and it's a supplement. It contains 5 ingredients, and I actually really like that, because I think there's no point overcomplicating things. This has got 5 really punchy, potent antioxidants at good doses, so you know it's gonna be doing its job. So it has vitamin E in it, first of all, and vitamin E, we lose vitamin E as we get older. The levels in our skin decrease. It's a vitamin that sits in the outer layers of the skin, and it literally helps to filter out blue light. And it also helps to stabilize those melanocytes, so those cells that release the pigment. So it's got vitamin E in it. It's got olive fruit extract in it, something called hydroxytyrosol, which is really nice anti-inflammatory. So anybody with sensitive skin, it also reduces those matrix metalloproteinases, so it's helping to prevent collagen loss as well. Something to note with the olive fruit extract, there's a nice little sustainability story there as well. So the team at Advanced Nutrition Program, they actually use all of the waste product from olive oil production. I think they get through something like 900 tons of waste product that would otherwise be discarded. It's great, isn't it?
My goodness. And what I love about these is that these are quite not ordinary sounding, as perhaps to do them down, but I mean they're things we've heard about before, but they've found very kind of specialized versions of them, haven't they? Or they've sought out the kind of ingredients that give the most effect. And you know, what are the benefits of taking it? Can you talk a bit about the results they've had? Because I know they've done some really very detailed research already, and they call it preliminary research, but actually it's the kind of compelling stuff that makes it
something to bear in mind before we go on to it is that whilst the team at Advanced Nutrition Program have tested this against blue light, when I first saw the product, I didn't actually realize that it was I didn't look at what it was called. I just looked at the ingredients, and I thought, wow, this is a really, really nice product. So whilst it's targeted and tested against blue light, I think it's actually got applications all over the place. And one of the things that I think it's definitely going to help with eye health. It's got lutein and zeaxanthin in it. It's going to help with antioxidant, with sort of oxidative stress from multiple sources: smoking, your diet, your lifestyle, pollution. So that those are areas that are not tested, but as a doctor, I know that it's going to be helping with those things. But I know that, so they tested this product. It's just 1 capsule a day with your main meal. And they found a 17% increased hydration, 15% increased skin smoothness, reduced wrinkles in 16% of people, almost 20% had reduced redness. So these are things that are just incredible for skin health. But when it comes to blue light in particular, what it showed is that not only does it repair the skin, it also helps to protect it against further exposure to blue light by 60%, which is massive.
Huge, is it? Because they did some they got skin biopsies. It was real skin, wasn't it? And then they what do you call it, irradiated, treated it with blue light, and it was that protective effect going forward that I think is massive, isn't it? So if we start scoffing it now, how long?
8 weeks,
summer,
56 days. 56 days. It takes 19 days for the vitamin E to get into your skin and start doing its thing, but you will see noticeable improvement in 56 days. And actually the study that you were just referring to, where they took some skin, they irradiated it, and then they looked at it 56 days later, actually not only had it repaired itself, it had actually improved to 110% from baseline. So it had gone all the way back to normal, repaired itself, and got better than when it even started. So yes, and I think that's great, because there's so many supplements out there that we don't have the kind of clinical testing and the evidence behind.
Sure. There's 60 capsules in here. So this is 2 months supply, isn't it? I'm I'm going to start imminently, and hope I'm protected by the time the summer arrives. And I mean, in clinics, do you find supplements a useful thing to offer to patients alongside all the other
Yeah, I
things
mean,
that you've got at
absolutely.
your
I think as
disposal?
aesthetic doctors, it's very easy for us to be very sort of, you know, concentrated on what we're doing on the outside with Botox and fillers, but actually all of those things are kind of the icing on the cake. You need a good foundation and you need a good basis. And that's what I think is really good about supplements, is that it's sort of giving you that protection from within. And it's the same thing with the SPF, really, that we're not reapplying it. It's nice to know that you've got something that's there in the background that's sort of protecting you. But yes, our patients, you know, we will always try and start with the least invasive thing first. And this, you know, this is about as minimally invasive as you can get.
Yes, and I'm sure you thought, like I did, when looking at the ingredients on this. I was wondering if this will have it's not an SPF effect to the degree that you can then leave off your sunscreen, but have a protective effect in that direction. Can we say that, or is that overstating the case? I know they would.
No, I think you can.
It,
I think they've done enough studies to show that looking at those cells under the microscope and things, I think there is enough to show that it does protect from future exposure. But remember, it's by 60%, which is huge. But then there's also we need to be doing something still in the background. So yes, absolutely, keep using the SPF.
I was remembering a study from way back where the lovely Professor Mark Birch-Machin made people who's Newcastle made people eat, was it 3 tablespoons of concentrated tomato paste, and after that, after 12 weeks or something, it was equivalent to an SPF of 1.5, which doesn't sound like, but he could do it. And then I know there was a study, he was making athletes eat like a pound of blueberries a day, but I can't remember what the result of that was. And I think it was athletes called the long distance runners, because they were outside the whole time with the beating down. But you know, antioxidants are so important, but this is an awful lot easier than
I think that's the thing. It's just 1 capsule a day, so you know, it's not. I don't see any reason why it would give people any side effects. I think it's retailing for about £48 for 60 days, which sounds like quite a lot, but actually, if we're using our SPF properly, we would be getting through a lot more than that sort of value. So
yeah, the backup, the reassurance, because we're all looking for kind of what else we can do to either enhance our skin or defend it, or you know, generally make life a bit easier for it against all the aggressions that modern life brings on. So good one. And we will talk more about this next week at the event, because I know you're going to come along, which is fantastic. And thank you so much, and also thank you for sticking with all the shenanigans this evening. And thank goodness for that you were able to steer me in the right direction to get this back on track.
It's been good, and thank you to everybody that returned.
Yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Bye now.